Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another live session. I hope you're doing well. It's another Monday. And you're all welcome. Now, today I'm gonna be brief with the session because it's a Monday. So we are gonna actually do only the higher time frame, and we will not do lower time frame because it's Monday, all right? And Mondays are tricky to trade, and as you can see, price has already moved significantly already, and it's just Monday afternoon, right? So let's start with the dollar index. Price is currently trading inside a fair value gap on the daily, and I would want to see how price is gonna behave in here. So by the end of today, we will get more clarity as to what price is gonna do going forward, because I'm not bearish on dollar index. I'm still I would say mid, because high time frame is still bearish, but we're currently pulling back. So I'm going with the flow, which is the pullback, and what's happening now to me is a pullback on the daily, and then we might expand up again. So with that said, we will see how price will behave in here today, and see if we can get a rejection below previous week low. Now, if we do get a rejection below previous week low, which is here, then we will start looking for potential move back up again. Okay. Now, not until today closes, we will not actually know entirely what price is going to do. We might not know entirely what price is going to do. That is why we have to wait for today to close, and then we will have an idea of what price is going to do. Okay. Now, it did trade to a lower time frame fair value gap on the 1 hour over here, and that's where price is rejecting. I'm actually watching to see if we will break back above the weekly low and then form maybe a H4 auto block or something. Then I'll be interested in looking for potential trade ideas. Now, from 2 p.m. if you see any setup, you can actually take it because it's rejecting the previous week low. So only do it from 2 p.m. okay, which is UK time. Anything before that, that's not good. Anything during the 2 p.m., as I've always talked about, that's the best time. So look for a potential setup when we hit the purple line. Okay, I didn't want to go to the lower time frame, but I wanted to show you this particular one because it's rejecting. On euro, it's the same thing, but the level that I was expecting them to go is just slightly higher. So just be mindful if you're going to take the euro, because the level that I'm expecting them to go to is just a little bit higher. You can see over here, that's where I want them to go to. So maybe a move back up before the actual rejection. Before the actual rejection. that is actually what I was expecting when price reached that level on Dixie, but it couldn't get there. So I'm exercising patience with this. Okay, I really want them to go for that level, that particular level, because where we are now, it's rejected off from a wick, and I don't like that idea that they've left. Now that has created an equal high, which they can exploit maybe during the course of the week. So just be mindful. British pound, they've gone for this high just above it and then rejecting. So maybe the British pound might be the best one. Okay, British pound might be the best one. So let's see if we can get a trade idea on British pound. Maybe from 2 p.m. look for an imbalance to form, and then we can take the trade. Okay, so let's see what will happen in the next hour or so. Maybe in future we will see. Maybe in future we do lessons, we do the sessions actually at 2 p.m. rather than 1, so that we can get some trade ideas. Okay. All right, let's carry on. Australian dollar. With this, maybe we might trade a little bit higher above that into this candle's low. Not today, maybe today, who knows, we will see. That's where I want to see a reaction off from, not where we are now, right? I want to see a reaction off from this candle's low, and then that's when you can do something with this pair. Until then, stay put. With the New Zealand, same thing over here. We're actually rejecting that auto block that we highlighted last week, so we might go up a little bit more into that area. For this sort of price action in May, kind of surprised that we've not had like a proper trend yet in May. Maybe we might have it this week, who knows. The economic calendar is suggesting we might have some high impact news, but nothing major on the dollar index. So it might be Donald Trump probably saying something, and then price will move, who knows. But whatever happens, like I said, I'm expecting dollar to reject the previous week low. And when you start rejecting, watch all that happen in London. Okay, if they reject all that happen in London, then we will be coming back up here. Okay, so currently this is the range, this low to this high, that's the range, and we are looking for price to go back up. All right, so that's that. In terms of other currencies, I'm not really looking for any other pair right now. Like I said, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. So let's see what will come up by the end of the day. Because on the weekly time frame, if you put price on the weekly, you will see that most of the pairs are not really shaped well. Like this one, Euro Aussie, it's gonna take out this high, but after they take out that high, I don't know what next. Pound Aussie, last week we got a beautiful trade to go and take out the previous week high, and now it rejected, so I don't know whether it's gonna go down or not. Pound New Zealand is gonna take out this high, but then do we reject, do we continue going up? It's not really clear. So let's see how Monday is gonna trade. Maybe we'll get a trade idea on the daily rate, previous day rate, and then we go for previous day's low, or previous day's high rate, and then we go for that. The only trade that I'm confident of as it stands is gold. Okay, gold is reacting off from this order block, and I think it might go for the previous week high, this high here, because we rejected. This was a pullback, so I think gold will go for the previous week high. So on the lower time frame, gold is going for this level. That's the only, as it stands, okay, for the week as it stands, that is the only one that I'm actually interested in. Okay, crude oil. I'm still interested in price trading back into this level, and once we get there, I might look for a sell to reject and come back down. All right, so crude oil can also be a good trade if we can get there this week or even tomorrow, because it will give us a Monday. Let's look at it from a weekly perspective. Okay, we are not reversing yet. This is a pullback into that range. They still have equal lows over here. We had a rejection on the daily. We had a nice straight through the up candle, and then that created a fair value gap. Right now, with that fair value gap, we want price to hold it and then send price back down. So if we can get that price tomorrow to trade up in there, then reject today's high, or we might not even get there today. Tomorrow might be the up candle like this, trade up there, and then Wednesday might be the rejection. Okay, Wednesday might be the rejection. So what I would want us to do is to mark that level that I've just given, and then wait patiently for that level. Let price trade to that level first before you do anything. So before you look for any trade idea on crude oil, wait for that level. Now, you can look for a buy to trade up there, but it's not guaranteed. All right, you can look for a trade to trade up there, but it's not guaranteed. Sometimes it's easier to wait for the main trade than to go counter, because going counter can stop you out and then still go up there. But if it gets up there and you sell and it goes down, it will be much better. So like I said, let's wait for price to get there. Now, if you want to take a trade to go there during this New York session, you're more than welcome, because I think it might trade up there. Okay, and then ES, I think ES is kind of overdue for it to start rejecting. So I'm not surprised to see the gap down that happened. All right, because you can see we closed up here on Friday. We closed up there, and then we gapped down when the market opened. From the month, actually, so the 3 months perspective. From the 3 months perspective, we've closed below this candle, so all of that is a pullback, and we are likely going to reject. And in my journey in trading, I think I've heard a saying that sell in May and come back in June or August or something like that. So we might get a sell-off from here. Now watch. Take out all this execution. Watch how we trade below this low. If we go below it, I think that might be it, and then we start going lower. Okay, if we go below that low, I think that might be it, and then we start going lower. So watch out for the 5868 level, because once we go below it, we might not come back up again. Okay, so that's pretty much so far it for the currencies. There's a lot of waiting, and that's how the nature of prices. On Mondays, you have to wait, and then as the week progresses, then trade ideas and setups will form. Okay, let's go over to the crypto market. So AI16Z, I'm kind of surprised, but at the same time not surprised, because that level is a strong level, right, as I've mentioned several times. So I would want to see price not break this low. On the high time frame perspective, we have fulfilled what price needed to do in terms of logics, where price takes out the month low, we go and take out the month high. That has been done. But what we want now is to follow through. And I think I mentioned this pattern. Whenever we have such pattern like this, where price drops and then the first candle to reject is a up candle with a wick, it will follow through with consecutive up candles. So I don't think this is going to continue going down. So I will see it as a pullback, and that pullback might maybe come here, 618, and then go back up. Preferably not, but you know, I don't control it, so who knows? If they're trading through this gap, then it's likely gonna come there, right? And that's because Bitcoin is not sustaining what I wanted to see. Okay? Bitcoin needs to sustain the up movement. If Bitcoin sustains it, then we will continue. Now, it's still early in the week, so I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis on the fact that price is dropping. It might be reaccumulation taking place. Let me remove all this drawing. It might be reaccumulation taking place, and this gap is what it's trying to come back for. Okay, so watch this weekly gap, this candle's low. That is where price might be dropping to, and then it will reject and go back up again. All right, and when that happens, I think AI16Z will resume. So in my opinion, it's an opportunity for those that wants to go long again. Okay, it's an opportunity for those that wants to go long again. So if you like to go long again, then use that as an opportunity to get long. Ethereum, same thing. It might be dipping into this. Now we've had, let me move all this join. We've had 1, 2, 3 up candles. So and a down candle, which is a reaccumulation candle, is actually overdue, especially with Bitcoin. We've been going up for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So an up candle is, a down candle, which is a reaccumulation candle, is overdue. So don't see the drop that you're seeing as prices going down. Okay, maybe you might have entered too late, and that's fine, but don't see this as prices reversing to go down. If it's gonna reverse, then they would have to trade through this weekly imbalance. Then yes, we might be dropping a little bit further, but as it stands, this might be only the level price is reaching for, and that will affect all the other cryptocurrencies, which is this one to come inside this fair value gap, hype to also potentially come into this fair value gap, Ripple trade inside this auto block, so we might trade within this range, this low to this high as a range, and then we resume going up. Tatsuo, that's the one with the problem. Tatsuo has rejected, but I still think we're supposed to come up for the previous month high. Now if it goes for the low and it closes below the low, then there is a problem. Okay, because based on the logic, we're supposed to come up here. So if they come here and closes, the keyword is closes, if they close below it, then there is a problem. If they don't, then it's immediately gonna reject and then go back up again. But as it stands, looking at how price is moving, it looks like our last area of salvation is where we at now, which is this gap. There's a little one below it, but I'm not actually a fan of it if it goes there, because this is OTE. This is the 79 retracement level. So this gap exists there. If we trade through it, then they will come for this low, and that's when maybe we might reject once we go below it. Okay, so let's see, maybe this week something will happen and then they will reject and come back up again. And then Chachki, we are still sustaining the upside, but again, it depends on what Bitcoin is going to do. If we dip into the gap and we sustain it, then we might continue going up. Okay, if you sustain it, then this one will sustain and then go up again. For now, I think patience is key. Let's wait for Bitcoin to drop in here, and then we will see what we will do after that, because I don't recommend selling. If you trade both sides, I don't recommend selling, and I don't recommend buying either. So it's a matter of being patient and waiting, and then once we get the confirmation, which is a rejection of here, we can go back to all the cryptos again and then look for longs. Back to dollar index. So in the next 30 minutes, watch this and then see if price will give us a move, especially on the British pound. Look for a 15 minutes fair value gap and then trade that. Okay. I didn't talk about dollar yen. Dollar yen is also a good pair for this week. Watch this fair value gap here. We've rejected two candles. We've rejected two candles low, which is this one and that one. So we had 1, 2 rejections here, and they've gone for a third one, which is that. So that gives you like a staircase accumulation. Staircase accumulation. They bought here. They bought here, and now they are buying here inside that fair value gap. So now watch this up candle. If we break it during this New York session, look for longs, target up here, and yeah, target this gap. Yeah, that'll be the first target for now, and then we'll see how we get on going forward. So that's another good one for the week. Okay, if we break this up candle, then you look for long, you're targeting here, there, and then we see how we get on after price reaches those levels. Okay, so that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, Mondays are very quiet, so I'm not gonna give you too much. We wait and see, and then we strike when the time comes. Until then, take care, enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you same time tomorrow. Hopefully something will pop up and then we can take advantage of it. Peace.